Hi, GameBro Advance here again, and in today's episode, I'd like to show you why you should check out F-Zero Maximum Velocity. Previously, I talked about how the Game Boy Advance was designed and marketed as a portable Super Nintendo, and one of the first wave games for that system was the original F-Zero back in 1991. A full decade later, Nintendo pulled the same move by launching F-Zero Maximum Velocity alongside the Game Boy Advance in 2001. Rather than porting F-Zero as is from the SNES, Nintendo decided to develop the GBA version as more of a spin-off that plays exactly like its predecessor. I'll admit, I didn't grow up familiar with the series, but thanks to Nintendo Switch Online, I was finally able to dabble with the original as well as F-Zero X for the Nintendo 64. For being a legacy Nintendo racing property, it's inevitable that F-Zero would be compared to Mario Kart, a series that has been essentially a multi-decade blockbuster for them. And while there are some overlapping elements, I think it's safe to say that F-Zero can really stand on its own as a unique take on the racing genre. Normally, I'd go into a brief synopsis about the plot of the game, but no one really looks to racing games for a story. However, if you are interested in that, you'll have no trouble finding it via a quick Google search. Instead, I'd like to highlight what makes Maximum Velocity such a blast to experience handheld. Borrowing from the world of chess, the Grand Prix, which is the main gameplay mode, has 3 starting series to offer: Pawn, Knight, and Bishop. Then you'll select your difficulty: Beginner, Standard, and Expert. Once you hit the futuristic raceway, your main goal is to race 5 laps and to finish in the top 3 of each race. That may sound simple, but there are more layers to this. For example, if you fall to 20th place, you're eliminated straight up. If you don't finish in the top 15 after lap 1, you're eliminated. From there, it's top 10 after lap 2, top 7 after lap 3, top 5 after lap 4, and top 3 to end the race. And that's not all you have to worry about. Similar to, say, a fighting game, you have a life bar that applies to the condition of your machine. Factors like hitting the wall, taking bumps from other machines, or crashing into any hazards will all impact that life bar as well, so you need to be absolutely sharp to succeed. For the most part, the racing mechanics are pretty straightforward. Use A to accelerate and B to brake. For drifting, you'll use L or R in their respective directions. And a new and rather entertaining technique, tapping A to blast turn your way around tight corners, which there's no shortage of. At the end of your first lap, you'll begin to earn a speed boost, which is indicated by 1 to 3 S icons in the lower right portion of the screen to help you catch up or gain distance on the competition. The better you can utilize all of these controls, the more comfortable you'll be as you progress through each series. As far as racing machines and pilots go, there are only 4 to start with, but your incentive to play on is that you can unlock an additional 6, which is cool. And as you may expect, each one has their own unique stats, so it's up to you to find the right fit. Speaking of unlockables, if you can complete Pawn, Knight, and Bishop, you'll be rewarded the Queen series. Also, the Masterclass can be unlocked based on if you can complete any series on Expert, so you'll definitely have your work cut out for you. And if you decide to take on that challenge, you can use the training mode to step your game up, which is nice. I really have to commend the developers on this one for going the extra mile and offering a solid multiplayer feature. You and 3 other friends can connect via link cables and compete against one another, and at a minimum, you only need 1 cartridge to do so, which is pretty amazing for the time that this game was released. All in all, F-Zero Maximum Velocity is a solid Game Boy Advance racing game, and it doesn't need to mimic Mario Kart to stand out on its own. Holding a Metacritic score of 86%, it's definitely a worthy game in general for the GBA. Despite its tougher than usual entry-level difficulty, after a few races you can certainly get comfortable with the tight controls, and in no time you'll be hooked just like I was. Not to mention it's got great visuals as well. I was able to pick up a loose copy for only $25 online, and as of today it's still hovering around that price. So I definitely recommend this one for the collection, and it shouldn't be too hard to find either. For Wii U owners, you can also find it on the eShop though, just for a few more weeks before the impending shutdown. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my 10th episode. I'm thrilled to have hit this early milestone, and I'm looking forward to continuing covering more worthwhile GBA games. So have you played F-Zero Maximum Velocity before, or are you an avid fan of the series as a whole? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know what other games I should cover next. Thanks for watching.